Oh, folks. Oh, boy. Welcome to December the 29th. Hello. Welcome in. We had hunting and stuff with J&J stopped in earlier. Looks like we had Backbone Outdoors stopped in. Sharing this stream out on his community page. Good. I was going to try to pop in early, and that just didn't happen. Railroader Outdoors and more in the house saying Happy New Year. Tiger Muskie NM. Hello. I got banners to put up here. Now, we've had some success here on some of this stuff. Frontier Survival, congrats to them. They hit their 1,000 supporters. Good job for Heath. I haven't looked at Kincaid Outdoors for a while. He hits it and bounces back, hits it, bounces back, hits it and bounces back. We need to get him over that threshold and then stay there. And I don't have him in the scroll board, but Backwoods Mindset, he also hit 1,000 supporters. So congratulations to him as well. A bit of a shout out. Good job for those guys. Onward and forward for Dark 30 Outdoors. We got some work to do. I hit 901, 902, and then I'm back under 900. So I don't know. YouTube giveth and YouTube taketh away. So we'll see. Tonight I'm going to hit some of just going to chit chat about the good, the bad, and the ugly of 2021. Hit some highlights, hit some low points. I think I kind of covered that in last week's video. And then, look forward to 2022. Maybe throw out some goals for 2022 at the end here. So, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Just kind of play it by ear. I don't know if that's really what's going on, or if that's not working. Oh, well, you figure people come in when people come in. Oh, well, you figure people. Now, it showed me there's one person in here. It's me, but that way I don't feel so alone. There must be someone else I didn't see. Somebody else was live at the same time, or maybe people are just tied up with their the holiday stuff. Maybe there's a good football game that's going on. I don't know. I don't know, but I've got my I should have got on here early and I could have updated that banner. I suppose there's probably some other folks I could have threw on there, but it is what it is. I guess we'll just wait and see. I don't know if you all saw my short that I put up. Was that? It might have been yesterday or today. With some Christmas gift cards, I ordered a new camera. It's a bridge camera. That's what they call it. It's kind of an in-between of a point and shoot and a DSLR. Technically it's a mirrorless camera, but it's got a fixed lens that will zoom. And that zoom, it's got a 16x zoom, the equivalent of, I think, 400 millimeters. So it's got a good zoom on it, and it's got a 1-inch sensor. So it also has like a million features. And so for the price point, it was pretty fantastic. And it's It's a multi-purpose camera. It's going to do really well for any videos I want to shoot here around the house. If I'm doing a product review, if I'm doing just a quick talking points to close out a video, maybe I didn't do a closure out on the lake or whatever. And I'm also going to take it along for fishing trips as kind of a secondary camera. It won't likely capture the action because I'm not going to have it on all the time. But if I get a fish into the boat, I could kind of do some stuff with that. I think it'll be great for B-roll as well. And then it'll make a great hunting camera because it's got such a good zoom. And they say it performs well in low light. I've played with it a little bit. I don't know that I played with it enough to really get a full understanding of its capabilities of low light. But I do think it's going to be better than what I was using before in low light. So I'm expecting it to perform better. But anyway, I don't know if I look more lit up than I normally would on my live stream, but I bought this camera in a package, and the package came with this little light. It's I thought it was going to be bigger, but I mean, it is. This is the backside of it. It's a tiny little thing, but it's a panel of bright LEDs, almost like what you'd see on a trail camera. But instead of these being infrared, they're full on bright LED lights. It's borderline blinding me, but it splashes some light into the. Anyway, you know what I'm trying to say. Tina Ladybug in the house. Welcome in. Happy New Year. We're celebrating early, right? Hey, we got Backyard Barbarian Daniel stopping in the house. Hello, sir, and Happy New Year. I hope you had a great Christmas. I did catch your premiere that you announced the second channel there. I think that's a great idea. That way you got more of your outdoor side stuff and then some of your DIY and your other fun stuff. That's pretty cool. That's really, really cool. Definitely welcome in. I hope you're doing well. I hope you have a fantastic new year. I hope 2022 treats you very, very well. I'm super jacked for 2022. But before I get into that, I should probably start reflecting a little bit on 2021. For anyone that saw my video that I put out last week, it was kind of my gaffes and muskie fishing from 2021. I had some fish that ripped and didn't stay pinned. I had a couple that I messed up on. I was kind of taking it lackadaisical, and the one I wasn't prepared at all. I didn't have the net extended. I'm fooling around with that, and by the time I got the net ready, the fish was saying, no, see you, goodbye. And I had Minute on the Mountain made a comment about, well, it's cool you got to see it jump. And it's what I did, because in the moment, I don't know if you really if you watched it and if you paid attention, I kind of had a lackadaisical approach. I'd been catching kind of small muskies, and I just thought it was another 31, 32, maybe 33-inch muskie on the line. And so I did. I had kind of a lackadaisical approach, like, okay, another one of these guys. We'll just kind of get it in here. No big real sense of urgency. Let's not panic about it. Well, after it jumped, I was kind of like, wait a minute. And so when I got home, I reviewed the footage, and what I did was I paused it midair and took a still, and then I took with the still photo, I blew it up, and I got a much better look at that fish, and it was easily a 40, 42, 43-inch fish. That would have been my biggest one of the year, and I was totally unprepared. But sometimes that's the way it goes. Frontier Survival. Heath is in the house. I gave you a shout out at the very beginning, Heath. Big congratulations, everybody. 2 thumbs up for Heath at Frontier Survival. He has hit 1,000 supporters. Him and Backwoods Mindset both reached that milestone recently. So definitely give 2 thumbs up for those guys. Welcome in, welcome in. I hope you had a good Christmas, and I'm looking forward to your New Year's Eve bash. It's going to be a blast, right? That should be a good time, Heath. I will definitely be tuning into that one for sure. Let's see. So that video kind of covered my 2021 gas, my low lights. I do have a couple of highlights that I'll share from 2021. Cranking and Yanking is in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. There's Backbone Outdoors. Come on in, come on in. Let's see if I can figure out how to do all this clicking button stuff. Right. And now I can't tell if that shared that. Oh boy. Sheesh, that just does not want to share that. Why is that doing that to me? Yeah, Backbone Outdoors, thanks. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate you sharing it out. Oh, I know what I've got going wrong. Yeah, there we go. That is my best muskie, my biggest muskie for 2021. That fish was 38 inches. It was the second muskie I caught for the year, and it was the first muskie that I caught at Allen Creek Lake, which is the closest lake to me here in Ohio that has muskies. That lake is only about 30 minutes away from my house, so it's kind of my local lake. Hoover Reservoir is closer, but it doesn't have muskies. And Buckeye Lake is probably about the same amount of time to get there, but it doesn't have muskies either. Those are both. Buckeye Lake's is a phenomenal sawguy fishery, and then Hoover is awesome for catfish, especially the blue cat. The ODNR released blue cats in there, and that stocking program is going really, really, really well. So if you're in Central Ohio and you haven't fished Hoover Reservoir, definitely if you're a catfish person, you definitely want to get in on that Hoover blue cat bite. That's a good time. That lake's loaded with catfish, not just blue cats. It's got a ton of channel catfish, and it's even got a small number of flatheads in it too, I believe. That's one fish I've never caught, but anyway, so this was my biggest muskie for 2021. That was definitely a highlight of 2021. This was a highlight if it's gonna. Now I gotta reset it. Reset, start all over. Share screen. Yeah, I get it. This one, yeah. This smallmouth bass was my largest smallmouth bass of 2021, and it tied my personal best at 19.5 inches. Hey, we got Anchoring Gang Fishing Buntock. Every time I see that, I'm pretty sure I'm butchering it, but welcome in. Yeah, I've made a few people mods, but I don't think it looks as though none of them are here right now. I think Small Water Charters is a mod, and Off the Hook Outdoors is a mod. Tina Ladybug, I think, is a mod, but I don't know if she might have zipped in and zipped out. No, maybe she's not a mod. I don't see the wrench beside her up there. Anyway, so this was a highlight. It's funny, on this particular day, I didn't get this fish on video. I was actually fishing for Sawguy, and I caught an 18.5-inch smallmouth, and I released it, and on the very next cast, this 19.5-inch smashed it, and I was just blown away. Now, if you pay close attention, you can see, hey, Tiger and Muskie NM, welcome in. You can see that I've got an action camera strapped to my shoulder. The only problem is I forgot the micro SD card, so I had my action camera with me, but I did not capture this fish on camera, either one of those real nice smallmouth. So, I mean, I was on cloud nine. Anytime you catch a 18.5-inch smallmouth, you're feeling pretty good. But then for the next cast to turn around and catch a 19.5-inch smallmouth, whoo, I was on cloud nine. The 18.5 jumped pretty good. This fish, it just pulled like a tank. And I knew it was a bigger fish. And it kind of did a lazy tail walk, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's a big smallie. I think her belly was just too big to really jump up out of the water. And the second I got her to the bank, I knew she was bigger than the one I had just released. Shit happens. CJ, welcome in. Yeah, that was another neat thing for me about 2021 was I would call that a highlight, is that I met some wonderful YouTubers. You being one of them, CJ. We went muskie fishing, and then I came up to your homestead in August, and we did some bass fishing in the ponds. We did some food plot work, and then I came up in the fall and hunted with you, and I just had a blast. And really, I gained a great deal of knowledge and insight on putting a video together. And you don't always have to just be. It's not about turning your camera on and then just go fish or just go do whatever you're going to do. It's about capturing video footage intentionally. You don't just run the camera the whole time and hope something good happens. You intentionally capture video footage. You might use it, you might not use it, but you've got it. And then when you're piecing your video together, you can pick and choose, and it's better to have more clips than just 3 hours of, well, gee, what am I going to pull out of this? So that's been tremendous. Another YouTuber that's a good friend of mine is Dave at Make It Take It Outdoors. Now I've known Dave outside of YouTube for a long time. We were friends before YouTube came along. I think it was way back in the days of Ohio Sportsman Outdoors Forum. He and I were chatting back and forth on that message board, forum board, and he and I and two other guys decided we were going to meet up at BW3 down in Columbus, and so all four of us met, and I'm still good friends with Dave, obviously, and he has a YouTube channel, so we did a collab, where he was testing some of the lures that he makes, Make It Take It Outdoors. and I was hoping to put him on his first muskie. So we didn't get him on his first muskie, but that was a neat thing to get together and fish with him. And I fished with friends a little bit more this past year than I had, whether they're YouTubers or not. More people in my boat, shared my boat a little bit more, and I think that was good for me. Ugly Dog Lures is in the house. Charlie, welcome in. So yeah, CJ, you make a great point. Sometimes the community of YouTube and meeting great people is kind of a part of it. I feel like my community grew, and I've met people through my association with you that I might not have met otherwise. And I don't mean met in person, but just now I know their channel. I follow them, I support them, and then likewise, Minute on the Mountain is one of them. Randy over at Father and Son Fishings, Don at Bucktails Outdoors, one more cast, Titus. Those are channels that I've become part of their community. I believe I met them through you coming on board and supporting my channel. So yeah, Charlie, you got that right. You absolutely got that right. I got one more fish for my highlights for 2021, if I can figure this out here. And it's funny. This is another one that I didn't get video of. Come on. There it is. Oh. Yeah, okay, there we go. This was another fish that tied my personal best. This was a 14.5-inch crappie, and I caught that at Delaware Lake. And funny enough, it was on a date. Took a gal out there, and I didn't want to be running my action camera and filming while we're just trying to fish and have a good time. So we did. We fished. We had a good time. We caught, I think we boated probably 12, 14 crappies that day, keeper size. We caught more than that. I mean, we might have caught 25 or 30. Well, probably 24, 25. But we got some, I'd say 11 or 12 keepers, and that was a 14.5-incher. That ties my personal best. I don't think 14.5 inches is all that impressive as a personal best, but that tied my personal best. I was pretty excited. And on a downer, those are all my highlights. So let's talk about lowlights on a downer. This very trip on the way home, that's when I got rear-ended towing the boat home, and the guy just smashed my outboard motor. So the boat was in pretty decent shape. It wasn't too transom wasn't too badly boogered up, and just a tiny dent in the like a brace arm on the back of the trailer. But even that, it wasn't the axle or anything critical like that. So there was no real damage to the boat and or trailer. I had also boogered up my hitch, but that was easy enough to replace. My ball hitch. Right on, CJ. So immediately my outboard being destroyed in middle of May, which is like the peak of spring, summer, going into the peak of late spring, some early summer fishing. I was like, holy crap. So a friend of mine that I know online, I haven't actually met him face to face. His name is Aaron. He is a guide up at West Branch Lake in Northeast Ohio. He's a muskie fishing guide. And he runs Churning Waters Guide Service. So that's a little bit of a shout out to Aaron. He referred me to his father, who was selling a 9.9 outboard Johnson. And so I bought that. And then I had also been looking around online at prices of 4-strokes and newer motors. And then the settlement for the insurance company came in, and I was like, yeah, I can make this leap because it's only going to be about $800 out of my pocket to get a brand new 4-stroke 9.9 outboard. Also, the Suzuki's convert to 20 horse very, very, very easily. In fact, it's the exact same motor. All they do is they change out the like a screen, almost think of like a governor or a screen over the fuel intake, like the fuel pump. So there's a restrictor plate on the 9.9. You take that off and you put a screen on for the 20 horse. And then the ECR, the electronic control, ECU, electronic control unit for the fuel injection, you swap that out. So it's going to be about $450 to convert it to a 20 horse. And I do plan to do that this off season. Mark J. Larson Outdoors is in the house. Welcome in, welcome in. If you folks don't follow Mark, he has been trapping up the coyotes. He just got number 15, I think. At least that's as far as his videos show. That's what he got. Now that video I think came out before Christmas. So between then and now, he's probably caught a few more. So if you like trapping, definitely check out Mark J. Larson Outdoors, folks. Yeah, that was dark 30, wasn't it, CJ? I think it was. I need to get that off there since I'm on to talking about low lights. So low light, a little bit of it was a challenge. Hey, Railroader Outdoors, there he is. Hey, Scott. It was a challenge to overcome, and I did. Eventually, I got a nice new outboard. What were some other downers? I'm skipping ahead to the lowlights, but I forgot there's one more. CJ will appreciate this, I think, if I can get it to work. There we go. Hunting and Stuff with J&J is back. Welcome in, welcome in. So there you go. There's a shot of the deer that I harvested up there at CJ's place. Shit Happens Homestead. So that was definitely a highlight of 2021. I never take getting a deer for granted, whether it's a buck or a doe or any kind of a deer, whether it's gun season or archery season. I never take it for granted. You just never know what could happen. So anytime you can harvest one and put meat in the freezer, that's a 2 thumbs up for me, boy. And so, yeah, I had a lot of action in 2020. I just didn't get it done. Geo Outdoors is in the house. Welcome in, Greg. Welcome in. So that was another highlight. And since I'm on the topic of hunting, I'm going to talk about a low light. And that was my public land hunting around here. It was terrible. And it's my own fault. I'm a big proponent of scouting. And I did not scout going into this year. I kind of got lazy and took it for granted. I felt like the spot I hunted last year was such a good spot, and it was going to be just as good, if not better, this year. So I just assumed it would be good. And I didn't really scout. I didn't put out any stands in any other locations. I just said, I'm going to hunt that one spot, and it's going to be good. Well, guess what? It just wasn't. I hunted it, I don't know, 5-6 times, maybe 7. And 2 of those was all day. I sat that stand all day gun season. All day. And also about 3 or 4 days before gun season. So kind of the very tail end of the rut when bucks should be breaking from the does and looking for that last hot doe. 2 times I set that stand all day and did not see a single deer from the stand. Man, I'm telling you what, that was rough. That was rough. So that was a low light. Deer hunting around here, my local stomping grounds on the public land here, it crushed me. And again, that's on me. That's my fault. I should have known better. I should never go into a deer season without at least 3 or 4 good spots that I believe in. I did hunt 2 other spots with my climber. One was it was a plan B because the spot I wanted to go to, somebody beat me to it. So I just went to a rum dumb spot, and it sucked. I didn't see nothing. And then the other time I took my climber in, that was the one time this year that I saw a deer on public land. I think it was like a doe about 60 yards away. No chance at a shot. I also saw some turkeys that day, and that made for a decent video. So, but yeah, it was tough hunting around here. I mean, I should know better. I mostly did that to myself, but it is what it is. I will be much better prepared for next year. I'm going to have at least 3 stands in the woods, maybe 4. I've already scouted a little bit, and I found a couple spots that'll be good, boat access spots that I like to do, slip in. Need to tweak them just a little bit, and I also want to get some trail cameras in there in the off season. So I will move trail cameras in there probably end of January, 1st of February, and then I get a better look at what's in there. Oh yeah, good luck with that, Greg. I think we've got muzzleloader season open Saturday, and I do have a muzzleloader, but I've never shot it. I've never sighted it in. I don't know what kind of charges and loads and all that fun stuff. I probably should have taken it up to CJ's, but I kind of didn't really want to get into that at that time. So, plus I have my kiddos this weekend, so it just makes it tough to get out. I feel like every gun season that came in, I had my kids. The only one that I didn't was opening day. It was Monday, opening day gun season. But every time it was the weekend and it was gun season, I had my kiddos. So I'm not sure why it works out that way, but it did. So good luck to you, Greg. That's kind of it, I think, for the highlights and the lowlights for 2021. I got Railroader Outdoors and More, Muskie, and I think that was his first Muskie in 9 years we had figured out. I think it was 9 years. So we were trying to get his son his first, but his son had to go to work, and it was like an hour later, Scott caught a muskie. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, I did a shout out for Heath earlier, Greg. I did that twice. Both him and Backwoods Mindset hit the 1,000 supporters milestone. So that's fantastic. You're next, and then me, and then the rest of these folks. All good folks. Be sure and support them. Tiger Muskie NM, he was in here earlier. I don't know if he still is. Free to Prowl Outdoors. I didn't look at them today, but I know they're knocking on the door. They're over 900, and Kincaid Outdoors has been there for, God, it seems like 4, 5, 6 months. He hits it falls back, hits it, falls back, hits it, falls back. So he's going to eventually get there and it'll stick. So I just didn't make my rounds and check these things out. I probably should. I really need to update the banner. So maybe my first live stream for 2022, I'll get that updated. I should probably be getting people like Mark J. Larson on there and Tom Celtic and Everything Outdoors and some of those folks. I'm holding steady. I'm at about 3,100, 3,200. My deer hunting videos last fall did really, really, really well. And my deer hunting videos this fall have not. So even though I'm doing live streams this year, and I wasn't this time last year, those videos that performed well were really carrying me back in December of last year. So as those views fall off, it's all I'm doing is kind of playing catch up right now. But yeah, I'm sitting right about 3,100. So I'm not real worried about the hours until I get up over 950, 960. And then I'm going to be like, okay, where am I at on hours? Because I'll crank out some shorts or some videos or something. I'll do a product review of everything in my house if I got to. But I mean, so, getting the hours, that's secondary in my mind right now. Getting the supporters up is the key for me right now. I was hoping it'd be there by the end of the year, but it's going. It's going. I'll get there slowly. It's a marathon, right? We'll see. It kind of depends on when I hit the 4,000 supporters. One thing I'm also really excited about, I did get a new camera. So I don't know if you saw that. I did a short for the unboxing, and it's a really, really good camera. So I think I'm going to be able to put a little bit more sharpness and a little bit more, I don't know, I just feel like I'm a little bit better equipped for putting together some really sharp videos now. And I know I got to keep working on my editing and try to take that to the next level. Woman Outdoors is in the house. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hello. Hello. I've made some strides. It's like I think my consistency could get a little bit better. I have one video where my editing is really good and really smooth, and then I have a video where I just hodgepodge throw it together. I need to get a little bit more consistent, and I think a lot of that is planning. Producing a video, you almost got to plan in advance. Okay, I'm going to get this B-roll, or I'm going to try to get this footage, or I want to be sure I get footage of this and get that and get that. 948 subs and 6,400 watch hours here now. Boy, Charlie, you got the hours. That's not even a secondary thought for you. You just got to find about 52 supporters and you'll be in good shape. That's fantastic, man. Anybody here that doesn't have Ugly Dog Outdoors, be sure and get them. I should have some moderators in here, but if I'm smooth, I can get this. I'll try not to be too dawdling here as I'm trying to do stuff. Oh. All right. There, if anybody doesn't have Ugly Dog lures, get on that link and check them out. Yeah, it's been really rainy here. There sure wasn't a white Christmas. We've had rain and mud, and every time my dog goes outside, she comes back muddy and dirty. I wouldn't mind seeing the weather get a little bit colder and stay cold. I'm kind of funny like that. I live in Ohio, and in the wintertime, it should be cold. Also, I think snow and 27 degrees is easier to deal with than rain and 37 degrees. Ugh. Yeah, this weather is for the birds. Awesome Woman Outdoors. We call that a hook set. You like to ice fish, Greg? I'm not a fan, man. Hearing that crackling under the ice, it's the most unnerving thing in the world to me. I think I'm gonna knock that out. I think it has annoyed me just to no end. It's not like I have bad light. Ice fishing is not for me. I mean, if I was able to get onto like a private pond and had some big 8, 9, 10-inch bluegills in it, yeah, I'm down for that. But otherwise, oh, there you go. That's cool. Did some hot tent camping? Nice. That's fantastic. Let's see. I covered the highlights and the lowlights. The ugly is probably just my public land. The good, the bad, the ugly. The ugly is just probably my. We might say that the boat getting crunched in a car accident. That was probably the ugly. But man, 2022 is going to be an epic year for Dark 30 Outdoors. Last year was tons of learning a new fish finder, learning a new outboard, learning that Clear Fork Lake sucks as a musky lake anymore. Learning that driving 2 hours or so, especially solo, is not really worth my while. There are musky lakes closer to me that I know more intimately, or that are just as good as far as musky numbers and size, that if I'm going to travel, I should travel to those. Because, for example, it's 2 hours and 15 minutes for me to get to West Branch Reservoir. So if I leave at 6 o'clock in the morning, I arrive at 8:20. By the time I get the boat launched and baits in the water, it's 8:30, 8:40. And if the sun's coming up, starting to get high in the sky, and if the water's clear, it doesn't mean you can't catch a muskie, but I'm putting myself in challenging times. Whereas I could have been at Allen Creek for an hour and a half and maybe boated a muskie. I definitely want to get down to Caesars Creek and fish that lake more. It's only about an hour and 25 minutes, hour and 30 minutes max. So that's a lot more doable than a lake that's 2 hours or more away. Plus, there's CJ Brown Reservoir. That lake really came on this year. It's only in its third year of the muskie stocking program. And I think it produced 350 fish caught on the muskie angler log. And the biggest is 40 inches. Now, that's not super big by muskie standards, but I'll take 30 to 40-inch fish all day long. Get up earlier, yeah, because getting up at 4:30 to leave at 5 is really sleeping. I think that's been my problem at Leesville. Every time I've gone to Leesville, I got a little bit of a late start, and by the time I get on the water and going, it's like 9 a.m. and that lake is just crystal clear. So I mean, I'm just defeating myself before I even get going. I like that lake because it's a 9.9 horsepower restricted lake. It's 10 horsepower or under over at that lake. So you don't have a bunch of jet skiers and wake boats and all that craziness. Me, I'm in Central Ohio, just northeast of Columbus and Johnstown to be more specific. But I'm about 10 minutes from Hoover Reservoir, maybe 15. So that's I'll get over to CJ Brown, probably 2-3 trips, 4 trips next year. It's just going to be much more worth my time. That's about an hour and 5-minute drive. So between Alum Creek and CJ Brown, and then 2 or 3 trips down to Caesars Creek, I should be in pretty good shape. Yeah, I've seen some of those videos. I watched the one where you picked it up, and I think I watched a few minutes, some part of it, another one where you were looking at the hull down underneath. It looks like it's a pretty good boat. I think it'll treat you right. We got Sunfish Assassin is in the house. Welcome in. Hey, good deal, Charlie. We like to see those hook sets. I really like the motor on that boat, Greg. Those old Johnsons, it can't go wrong. Kind of looked like the lower unit had been replaced, but even so, those Johnsons are bulletproof. I think that'll take good care of you for 2022. So yeah, I know you're definitely excited for 2022. It's probably going to be the longest winter ever for you because you're going to get that boat all shined up and get it customized exactly how you want it with rod holders and stuff, and then you're going to be chomping at the bit to get out on the water. I'm excited. Because I've learned my fish finder. I mean, there's a few fine-tuning details that I still can work out on the water, but I've got the basics of it down. My outboard motor, I've got the basics of it down. Yeah, Happy New Year, Sunfish Assassin. Happy New Year, absolutely. And I think I've got enough experience fishing muskie almost full time. I do pursue multi-species, but the bulk of my efforts are toward muskie, and I think I have a really solid understanding of when to go for springtime casting and where to go. And then when we get into trolling, I have a much better idea of my approach. Last year, I was kind of I won't say I was completely out of the game, but it took me probably 3 or 4 trips just to kind of get dialed into what the fish wanted. Whereas next year, once those fish move out, I'll be ready for them. when that water temperature hits 72, 73 degrees, I'm going to be out there trolling and just yank, ripping lips, man. It's going to be on. I'm super pumped. I haven't hit double digits. I almost hate to confess that, but my best year ever, personal best year ever for numbers is 8. I hit that in 2020, and I think the other time I hit it was like 2013. This year I only caught 7, but that's fine. But I'm hitting double digits next year. I just know that I'm going to. I'm going to have concentrated efforts on lakes that are producing. I'm not gonna, and I'm also not gonna drive way out of my way. Spending 4.5 hours driving to fish in a day for muskies that's tough. That's burning up a lot of hours. It could be hours better spent on the water, especially during prime times, prime feeding windows of dawn and dusk. Almost be better to fish, run over to Alum and fish it from 6:30 to about 10:30, 11, and then when the play boats come out, I call them water bugs because they buzz around the lake. When all that gets crazy, come home. Chill out, take a nap, do whatever, go back to the lake, show up about 6, fish from 6 to about 9:30. That'd probably be just fine. That'd probably be more worth my while. Or just go up to the north end of the lake that's no wake and just throw the boat on the trailer and chill out. I mean, I could park and just swim, but I don't know. Sometimes you just want to get out of the sun. And my boat doesn't have a canopy. I've thought about putting a canopy on it, but as small as it is, I think it'd be more work than that's worth. Oh, yeah, that sounds good, Sunfish Assassin. That sounds really good. An 18-foot Starcraft, 1974. That sounds like a good boat. Yeah, I didn't get out kayaking a whole lot in 2021. I think I only got the kayak out 2 or 3 times. I didn't get it out a lot. I should have done more of that. I really should have done a little bit more kayak, and I usually try to get about 3 or 4 trips in, because I like getting my kayak out on creeks or rivers where I can just kind of get away from people and stuff. See, Greg, I have a kayak and I have a boat. Well, I actually have a canoe and 2 kayaks and a boat, but I also have kids that live with me too. So sometimes we'll take all the paddle boats out, canoe, couple kayaks, have a day out out on the water. But I like having my boat to fish lakes and reservoirs. I love having my kayak to fish creeks and rivers. That's why you need both. That's why you need both. Because, I mean, you can fish a kayak on a lake, but it can be a lot of work, especially if it's pretty breezy out. Boy, you're paddling, you're fighting that wind. Ugh, who needs that? But we take them to the creeks or rivers. We'll park a car down at the end of our float, and then we'll drive up to the starting point, 5, 6, 8, and it's not usually 8, but there is one stretch we do. It's 8 miles. So we're just going to float all day. We'll have food and drink and whatever, and when we get to the end, there's a car there, and that car can run up, take people, and we can shuttle cars and do whatever we need to do, and then load everybody up, and we go home. Okay, yeah. You're getting out on the boat with the other folks. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm hoping in 2022 CJ will come down again. I'd like to get him out on Alum Creek Lake. I think we can turn our luck around and get him his first muskie. I'm looking forward to that. I'll say I'm looking forward to fishing Lake Erie a little bit more in 2022. I fished it one time this year. I fished it one time in 2020. I'd like to get to where I'm fishing Lake Erie 2 or 3 times a year. It's a tremendous resource. The walleye, the smallmouth bass fishery, even the yellow perch, if you go to the right places. I'm not a big perch person. I would go, if I'm going up there, if I'm making the trip, I'm going for either trophy fall walleyes or even big smallies. So I'd like to get up there. No, and technically I went to Lake Erie twice this year because I fished the Grand River, which is a tributary of Lake Erie. So I think that counts as 2 trips to Lake Erie. We kayaked that river, but we took out in where the river dumps into the lake. I mean, the ramp that we took out on was, literally 300 yards from the lake, I think. So we were right there. So I'm going to call that 2 trips this year to Lake Erie. But yeah, 2 to 3. I don't see myself doing 4 ever, just because I'm not going to run up there 2 or 3 times in the summertime. If I do a summer fishing trip, I'd probably just do 1, and I would lean toward chasing smallies in the summertime, early summer, like middle of June. And then the rest would be fall walleyes. If I could get 2 fall walleye trips in, I'd be pretty happy. With that. Lake Erie is full of walleyes right now. I don't know if you folks know this. Some of you folks might be in Pennsylvania. Woman Outdoors, if you're still here, I don't know if you're in Ohio. Someone said Lake Erie to her, I think. So I don't know if she's in Northeast Ohio. But, man, Lake Erie has had 2 record hatches for their walleye in like the last 5 years. I mean, that lake is already a good walleye lake. But now that it's had 2 record hatches, that lake is full of walleyes. And as that first record hatch matures and gets into the 4, 5, 6, 7 year class, there's just going to be a ton of trophy caliber fish. Your 7, 8, 10 pounders. And that's why I want to go to Lake Erie and tangle with these guys. I mean, I don't really want to make an hour and 45-minute drive, or if I go to my, a lot of times I'll fish it with my uncle, so I got to drive to his place. That's an hour drive, and then an hour and a half up from there. I'm looking at 2.5 hours drive commitment. I want it to be for trophy fish. I'm not trying to do that for 14 and 15-inch eater fish. That doesn't really get me going. Oh, Erie, Pennsylvania. Okay, yeah. That's not far for her at all. Then, my boat's too small for Lake Erie, but for chasing fall trophy walleyes, I would be okay with launching my boat out of Huron and just fishing inshore. I'd only go probably a half mile out, a mile out, and I would only do that if we had, light winds, preferably southwest, light winds, and just fish from the mouth out to the they call it the dumping grounds. If I think my boat could handle most of that. And if it got bumpy, if the wind picked up or whatever, I'd easily zip right in. A half mile is nothing. So, I mean, I can't swear I'll do it, but I'm tempted. It'd probably be a deal where if I was convinced that a particular Saturday was the day to go, or even a weekday, and my uncle couldn't make it, he couldn't go, I'd probably try to get at least one other person. Wouldn't want to do that solo, and go on out on Erie. Absolutely. So lots to look forward to in 2022. I probably will get in one or two winter hikes. I haven't planned that out yet. I probably need to start making some plans here for January and February. It'll be neat to get out there with my new camera and do a little bit of wildlife photography and film some hikes with a camera that's a little bit sharper, a little bit more advanced. Anxious to get out there and play with that and see what I can do with it. So yeah, deer hunting should be better next year. I've already got a jump on scouting for 2022. I have at least 4 spots locally I'm going to hunt. I am already planning to make the trip up to Northwest Ohio again next fall. Probably again right around Halloween. So we'll see how that shakes out with CJ. So yeah, 2022 is going to be fantastic for Dark 30 Outdoors. I know in my heart of hearts it's going to be a better muskie year. It's probably going to be my best muskie year ever. I'm getting some new baits. I have all the gear I need now. There's no excuses on that. I'm super pumped. It's going to be fantastic. So stay tuned for that. I rambled. Hey, we got John popping in just as I'm getting ready to wrap it up. Thanks for stopping in, John. Happy New Year to you and Lindia. Mark, you're not missing anything. You're at the very end anyway. I'm going to shut her down. I have rambled on for over an hour. As always, thank you for your support. Happy New Year to you, to all of you, to all of my supporters. I'm looking forward to a great year, and I hope you are too. As always, thanks for watching. Have a good night.